Hey everyone, I am Anthony Scott of ToyHypeUSA.com. Today we are reviewing the 13th box to FanHome's Street Fighter subscription, which includes issues 47, 48, 49, and 50. Inside are magazines, each with their own figurine. This includes Rufus, Urian, Sean, and Laura, which you see here. Her name's on the opposite side, so you can't see that, as well as the number. I am going to start off this review by checking out the magazines first and then the figurines. Also, thank you to FanHome for sending along for review. Greatly appreciate that. Let's start things off by checking out Rufus's magazine. Image of him on the cover there. And the first page goes right into details about the character, along with some great images. And you have a continuation, some additional details, and a bio for him. On the bottom there, you also have a look at how he looks in Street Fighter 4, which was been his only appearance. Up next, you have techniques and abilities. Halfway through, you have a poster of the character. And it continues on with additional details about Capcom in general. This is Final Round, the legacy of Street Fighter. The Oromushu franchise. Hopefully I pronounced that right. This one I'm not too familiar with. And on the back you have a continuation. You also have an image of Rufus right there on the right. And the back is always the same. Up next, issue 48 is Urian. And it starts off with information about the character. And a continuation. You also have some additional details, a bio, and a look at how he looks in his appearances in the game franchise. Up next, techniques and abilities for him, along with some great images. Halfway through, you have this really cool poster. New article for the music of Street Fighter 2. Wielding the celestial brush Okama. And the continuation of that. I am not too familiar with it. Here you have an image of him on the right, and on the back, same as always. Up next, issue 49, Sean. Starts off with information about the character, along with some images, continuation, and you have a bio with a look at how he appeared in Street Fighter 3. Up next, techniques and abilities. Halfway through is a poster of the character. Really nice poster there. Now Street Fighter 3, Ryo Finale. Up next, the history of Capcom, Get Them All, the Monster Hunter franchise. And a continuation. You have an image of Sean on the right, and back is always the same. And finally, issue 50, you have Laura. As always, starts off with information about the character, a continuation of that. Oh, this is techniques and abilities. My apologies. Here is continuation of that, a bio, and a look at how she appeared in the game. And this is techniques and abilities. Halfway through is a poster for her. Up next, The Legend of Street Fighter, Undisputed Street Fighter. What I like about, on the upper right-hand side, you have a look at some of the old Hasbro-style G.I. Joe Street Fighter figures from the mid-90s. The history of Capcom, trials and tribulations, the Ace Attorney franchise. And you have a continuation. You also have an image of her on the right. And as always, there's a look at the back. Here's a look at each one of the figurines inside the box. The box is the same as throughout the line. On the sides, you have Ryo and Ken, which you see here. And you have additional characters on the back. Street Fighter logo on the top. On the upper right-hand side is the number. Rufus is on the left side. And on the bottom there is their name on all the figurines. Here's your in-hand look at each one of the figurines. These are all hand-painted and stylized. And there's also no articulation on them. Let's start things off with Rufus. He is the biggest, fattest figurine in this set, and he comes in this really neat outfit here he uses for fighting. You see some chest hair right on his stomach, which is a bit gross right there. The paint applications on this are just really stellar. Very happy with how it came out. There's minimal to no bleeding on this particular sample, well, except for those few marks on the side of the head, but it's very minimal. He comes in an action pose as shown, ready to fight. He also has black gloves here. The outfit is mostly black and yellow with some light gray. I think that's a zipper compartment right there. On the back, you see where his fatness really shines. And there's more of it. Here's a closer look at the head sculpt. That's very nicely done. His hair is a bow tie, and that's made of soft plastic, so you can move that a little bit. His legs have knee pads, which you see here. And on the sides, you have this sculpted pattern right there, which is pretty neat. On the bottom is his name. Urian is up next, and he's pretty much naked, except for this one piece over his junk right there. And it also comes around the back to cover him up a little bit. He is very muscular, which you see here. Sculpting-wise, I think they did a very nice job on this. Here's a closer look at the head sculpt. The hair is sculpted and textured, and it's painted in white with a black wash. The skin tone, the sculpt, there's definitely a lot to love about this figurine. They really went all out on this one. Let's take a look at the legs and everything. And of course, on the bottom is his name. Up next is Sean, and he comes in a yellow karate outfit, black belt, and he's holding I think that's a volleyball. His hands also come with red gloves, which you see here. Facial details, very nicely done. He has gold earrings on both ears. The hair is also sculpted and textured, with shaved on the sides and back. That's gray, while the hair is brown. The volleyball is very nicely individually painted, each line and everything. There is, however, a little bit of bleeding, which you see here, and they made it so it looks a little dirty. Looks like it's used and worn down a little bit, which is pretty neat. He has bare feet right there on the bottom. And here is a look at the back. On the bottom of the base is his name. And finally, Laura. She comes in green pants with a yellow stripe right there on the sides and around the back. The back also has black deco with a black belt, which you see around her torso there. On her buttocks is the black. She also has a top that's also green, yellow with a black stripe there. It's also tied up there in the front. She has multiple color bands on both her wrists. This is blue, green, yellow, black, and red. Facial details and hair, very nicely done. The hair is individually sculpted and textured. She has braided hair on the side here, which came out great. There is absolutely no paint bleeding or anything on that, nor you see it on the bands. So they really took extra care of that. That looks great. She's posed in a starting position for a fight. Her feet are wrapped as shown. And on the bottom is her name. Overall, this is a great set from FanHome. The 13 box is a win. I'm loving the character selection, the paint apps, the attention to detail, the likenesses. There's really a lot to love about this box. Make sure to subscribe today by using our links on the YouTube description or off of toyhypeusa.com. We would greatly appreciate that. I am Anthony Scott at Toy Hype USA. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks again to FanHome for sending along for review. And stay tuned for more coverage. There's more to come with Iron Man and R2-D2 as well as Street Fighter. Thanks again and see you guys soon.